Hello everyone and welcome back to Lost Planeswalker. You're here with me, Jesse, the Lost Planeswalker. And I have another commander deck from the Murder at Karlov Manor set with Anzrag, the Quake Mole. So this is an awesome new commander that really has some cool effects that can really leave your opponents with nothing else to do. So Anzrag, the Quake Mole reads 2 red-green legendary creature Mole God. Whenever Anzrag, the Quake Mole becomes blocked, untap each creature you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Then for 3 red, green, Anzrag must be blocked with each combat this turn if able. So basically for a 7 mana activated ability, you can force your opponents to block this, meaning that you're going to get as many additional combats as Anzrag will last, which there's a lot of ways to make him last far longer. So we're going to start right out by Big Stuff Matters cards, or cards that are going to buff our commander to keep him around as long as possible. So first off, we have General, Marhalt, Elzdragon, Helena and Elena Partners, and Spear Breaker Behemoth. The General here is a legendary creature elf warrior with whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn for each creature blocking it. This is just going to make our commander get bigger every time it becomes blocked, no matter how many creatures are blocking it. And this ability is actually called Rampage. They didn't print Rampage on this, and it's a very cool effect. So if our opponents have nothing but little stuff to block with, our commander is just going to become extremely big. Helena and Elena Partners says first strike reach. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X+1/+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is Helena and Elena's power. That creature gains haste until end of turn. This is just going to be able to buff up our commander at the beginning of combat, which we will get multiple of, so every turn this will get bigger. And if we can buff up Helena and Elena, it'll just make everything we buff bigger as well. And Spear Breaker Behemoth is a 7-cost 5/5, which is kind of expensive, but he has Indestructible. And for 1 mana, target creature with power 5 or greater gains Indestructible until end of turn, which is just going to make it so our commander can't be killed. And this is a repeatable effect on multiple turns, so it's definitely worth including. But some of the other Big Stuff Matters cards I include in this deck are Colossal Magistry, Elder Gargaroth, Embercleave, Garruk's Uprising, Ghalta Primal Hunger, Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, Gwenna Eyes of Gaia, Ilharg the Razorboar, Clouth Unrivaled Ancient, Mage Slayer, Morag Fury of Akun, Ogier Kelslin Deepest Growth, Old Gnawbone, Shadow Spear, the Skull Spore Nexus, Unnatural Growth, Up the Beanstalk, Vigor, and Zopandrel Hunger Domus. So next up, we have combat-oriented stuff because we want to have our commander attack and we want to be able to protect him. So there's a ton of ways we can protect him or get benefits out of extra combats or just make everything so big it's unbearable. So starting out, we have Domain Gate, Mithril Coat, and Tyvar's Stand. Domain Gate is a 2-mana artifact from Lorwyn that says prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Now you still deal damage, but all of your stuff doesn't take any damage, which is a awesome effect, because if you can make it so our commander has to be blocked, he's not going to take any damage, but he's still going to be dealing it, basically getting an obnoxious amount of extra combat. Now Mithril Coat is one of my favorites from the Lord of the Rings set because it has Flash and Indestructible, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you instantly attach it to a legendary creature, meaning that our commander can be protected at Flash or instant speed right out of nowhere, making him a huge threat. And Tyvar's Stand is one of my favorite cards. I play this in my Pioneer deck, but instant, target creature you control gets +X/+X and gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. You can grow this as big as you want, or you can just give it indestructible for a single green mana and hexproof, which I think is well worth the cost. So some other combat-oriented cards are Inar Wolvid Familiar, Gaia's Gift, Glorious Sunshine, Grand Warlord Rada, Hajar Loyal Bodyguard, Hunter's Insight, Irresistible Prey, Karlach Fury of Avernus, Lure, Nalith of the Dire Hunt, Pathbreaker Ibex, Rhythm of the Wild, Roar of Challenge, Snake Umbra, Tamio's Safekeeping, Temur Battle Rage, Toski Bear of Secrets, and Withstand Death. And of course, lastly, we have the good stuff. Here's some other things that are just going to make our commander way more powerful. Maybe some things to help remove stuff off the board. But the cards I want to show off are Archdruid's Charm, Hull Breach, and Oron Frostfang. Archdruid's Charm is brand new from Murder at Karlov's Manor, just like our commander. And it's an instant with choose one. Search your library for a creature or a land card and reveal it. Put it onto the battlefield, tap if it's a land card. Otherwise, put it in your hand and shuffle. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage to its power equal to a target creature you don't control, or exile target artifact or enchantment. Hull Breach, for a single red and green sorcery, choose one, destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or destroy target artifact and target enchantment. And then Auron Frostfang, 3 green snow creature snake. Attacking creatures you control have death touch, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to player, draw a card. If we're able to also give our commander death touch, we can assign lethal damage at only 1 because this is going to give it death touch, and then we get to draw cards for all the excess damage we do, which is awesome. But the other cards to think about including in your good stuff category is Atlan Jackal, Beast Whisperer, Beast Within, Birds of Paradise, Chaos Warp, Cultivate, Delighted Halfling, Eternal Witness, Fight Rigging, Goblin Archaeomancer, Goldspan Dragon, Jessica's Will, Lightning Greaves, Professional Facebreaker, Rampant Growth, Rishkar's Expertise, and the Great Henge. I was kind of surprised to see a card like this in Grule, but honestly, it is so cool and is a pretty unique commander we haven't really seen before in this exact way, especially in Grule. So I'm very, very excited to see this card. I hope you are. I hope you find inspiration in this deck that I built. Maybe not all of it, but maybe if there's a card or two you would consider including in your deck, then I would count that as a success. But thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like, subscribing, doing all that great stuff to help me get more videos out there and know that you enjoyed this video. If there's a comment you would like to leave about a card you think I should have included, or a card that doesn't make any sense in this deck, I would love to see that down in the comments down below. But now we're going to talk about today's Scryfall card of the day, which is Fevered Vision. The mind can only expand so far before it flies apart. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you later, Planeswalkers.